So first I'm going to begin by testing my suction unit. So I'm going to turn the knob up to 350 milligrams of mercury. I'm going to bend the tube to close it off, and I'm checking to make sure that the lights make it up to 350 milligrams of mercury, which they do, so I can turn that off. If it wasn't to reach that 350, I would check all of the points here to make sure that the seals are all working. And I've also got a cup of water to make, in case the tube or the yanker get filled with vomit and clogged up. So it looks like our patient has begun vomiting, so if you can place him in the recovery position for me. Turn my suction unit on, and I'm going to insert the yank into the mouth, making sure my finger isn't over the hole, inserting it into the oropharynx only as far as I can see. I'll then place my finger over the hole and move the suction of the yanker out of the mouth for less than 10 seconds. I've got an unconscious patient here with an unstable airway, so the first thing I'm going to do is perform a head tilt and chin lift. I'm then going to measure an OPA, so I'm going to measure from the corner of the mouth to the angle of the mandible. I'm going to check before I insert to make sure that there's no obstructions in the mouth. I'm going to insert the OPA sideways, making sure that I don't catch the tongue. I'm then going to turn the OPA around to fit it in like that, and this is going to prevent the tongue from occluding. Okay, so it looks like our patient still has an unstable airway, so to help manage that better, I'm going to now insert an NPA. Before I insert it, I'm going to measure it, so I'm going to measure from the largest nostril to the angle of the mandible. I'm then going to lubricate the NPA, which is pre-lubricated for me. I'm going to find the largest nostril, and I'm going to insert it at 90-degree angle to the face. I'm going to glide it in. If I feel any resistance, I'm going to twist it. I'm not forcing it at all, I'm just letting it glide in at its own accord. So at the beginning of the shift, it's important to make sure that the oxygen is working and full. So first I'm going to check the Bodoc seal on the regulator, and that looks fine. I'm then going to place the regulator over the neck of the oxygen tube. I'm going to line up the prongs. I'm then going to turn the handle until I feel resistance. Once I feel resistance, I do a quarter turn. I'm then going to check how much oxygen is in the tank by opening this valve, and it looks like it's almost full, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to check that the oxygen flows out by twisting this knob, which it does. Now I've got a patient here who requires some oxygen, so I'm going to use a reservoir mask. I'm going to attach the tube onto here. I'm going to use a flow rate of between 10 and 15, so today I'm going to choose 12. I'm going to turn the oxygen on before I place the mask on the patient. Okay, so I've made sure that the bag is filling. I'm happy with that, so I'm now going to place the mask on my patient. Like so, and I'll tighten it if necessary. My patient now no longer requires oxygen, so I'm going to turn it off and close the valve off. I'm now going to turn the knob again to release any extra oxygen. So first I'm going to check the bag mask to make sure that the seals are tight and aren't leaking. So to do this, I'm going to place my hand on here, and I'm going to make sure that there is resistance when I push the bag. I'll then reattach the face mask. I'll turn my oxygen on to approximately 10 litres per minute. Open it. I'm then going to place the mask onto my patient. I'm going to perform a head tilt chin lift first. I'm then going to place the mask onto my patient using a C grip, making sure it's nicely sealed over the patient's face. I'll then perform breaths, one breath for every 6 to 8 seconds, making sure that there's adequate chest rise. I'd now like to ask my assistant to perform carotid pressure for me. Okay, so it looks like my patient has a broken leg. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check that I've got a strong and regular pedal pulse. I can feel that, so I'm going to put a mask on that spot. so that once I've done my packaging, I'll know exactly where it is. I'm now going to check the cap refill. I'm going to check it on the top of the toe because she's got nail polish on, and that's less than 2 seconds, so I'm happy with that. I'll now ask my assistant to lift the leg above the ankle and below the knee, please. Place the splint underneath and down, please. Okay, I'm now going to pat the splint around the patient's leg, just to make it more comfortable. My patient has already been given Entonox and paracetamol, as there were no contraindications to prevent this. Now we're going to support the splint by placing bandages around it. So I'll ask you to lift the leg, please. Thank you. Place my first one over the knee to prevent that joint from moving. Doing a figure 8 knot in opposite directions to prevent it from sliding off. Just going to lift the leg again, thank you. Perfect. Opposite ways again. We'll do a figure 8 like so, making sure I'm not blocking the position of the distal pulse. And I'm checking my pedal pulse again, and it's still strong and regular. And I've also called for backup in case any more analgesia is required. Okay, it looks like our patient has a lower limb laceration. So the first thing I'm going to do is check for a distal pulse. And that feels strong and regular. So now I'm going to place this bandage over. Just ask you to put compression on that for me. And while I'm bandaging, the patient has also been given Entonox and paracetamol, as there are no contraindications to prevent this. Just ripping the bandage nice and tight, and I'm going to twist over the top of the laceration to generalise pressure in that area. Ask you to keep that elevated for me. Okay, so it looks like our patient is actually bleeding out through the bandage. So I'm now going to apply a tourniquet. I'm going to apply it on the proximal limb, at least 10 centimetres above the wound. I'm going to twist this around until the bleeding stops, and I'm going to write the time, which is 10:05. I'm also going to call R50 for backup for extra pain relief, and I'm going to check the distal pulse is gone, and it has. Okay, so I have a patient here, and I'm unsure whether to apply a C-collar or not. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask my patient, can you please try and keep your head as still as possible? I'm going to ask you a few questions and do a few assessments. I just want you to say yes or no, no nodding your head or anything like that. Okay, so I'm going to use the Nexus system to distinguish whether to apply a C-collar. So the first thing I'm going to check is that there's no posterior midline spical tenderness. So to do this, I'm going to place my hand under the neck and I'm going to feel along the C-spine. Do you feel any tenderness there?
No.
No? Down here?
No.
Okay, perfect. The next thing I'll check is for intoxication evidence. So have you had anything to drink today?
No.
Okay, and I believe my patient, she doesn't seem intoxicated. The next thing I'm going to check is her mental status. So, what's the day today?
Saturday.
And do you know what year it is?
2014.
And who's the Prime Minister of New Zealand?
Joking.
Okay, that's good. I'm happy that she has a 5 out of 5 verbal score on the GCS scale. The next thing I'm going to check is neurological deficit. I'm going to do this by checking that the pupils are equal and reactive to light. Just going to shine a light in your eyes there. They both look the same. Next I'm going to check that she can follow my finger with her eyes. So I'm just going to ask you to follow my finger. Perfect. And the next thing I'm going to check is for painful distracting injuries. I'm going to do this by using the secondary survey. Feeling along the shoulders. No tenderness there? No. Down the arm. Nothing? No. The other arm? Nothing there? No. Okay, I'm going to feel down the sternum next. Ow. Okay, that's painful. So that could potentially be a distracting injury. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to size up a C collar. I'm just going to place the C collar on you, so I'm just going to measure it here. That looks good to me. So the first thing to do is to place the Velcro underneath the neck. Try not to get the hair caught in. Now I'm going to bring the collar around. Scale it on the neck. Slide it underneath. And pull the Velcro up. Following C collar application, I'm going to carry on my secondary survey to make sure there's no other injuries. Okay, we're arriving on scene. I'm assessing for hazards and dangers. I don't see any, so we're safe to approach. Hello, can you hear me? No response. I'm going to open my airway. Look, listen and feel for no more than 10 seconds. I don't hear any breathing, so I'll get you to start CPR. Place my pads on. I'm going to call for backup, R50. Start measuring my OPA. That looks like the right size.
Analysing heart rhythm. Do not touch the patient.
Stay clear of the patient.
Shock advised.
Okay, so I'm going to be shocking, so everyone stay clear.
Stay clear of patient.
Okay, shocking, stay clear.
Deliver, shock delivered.
Okay.
Pause.
Carry on
Start
with
CPR.
CPR. Place my OPA in. Put my suction unit here in case my patient begins to vomit. We're doing chest compressions at a rate of 30 compressions to 2 breaths. So I'd like you to tell me when you get up to 25.
29, 30.
And we're doing approximately 100 compressions per minute at 1/3 of the chest depth. And once the defib starts talking to us again, we're going to switch.
28, 29, 30.
I'm just going to check that if my patient has any med alert bracelets. Can't see any.
Stop CPR. Analysing heart rhythm. Stay clear of patient.
Clear?
Analysing heart rhythm. No shock advised. Pause.
Okay, so I'm just going to
If
check
needed,
for breathing
start
again.
CPR.
and my patient is still not breathing, so I'm going to carry on CPR. Okay, so I'm just going to take my patient's vital sign. So that involves me, I'm just going to take your pulse, so that involves me placing my fingers here and putting your arm up to your chest. Is that okay?
That's fine.
So my patient's pulse rate is 78 and her respiration rate is 16. So next I'm just going to auscultate the chest, so that involves me placing this, the end of the stethoscope onto your chest, above and below and then on your back as well. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll start at the front. Deep breath in for me. Deep breath in. Okay. I'm just going to place it up your shirt. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. Okay, we'll just go to the back. Deep breath in. And again. Deep breath in. And one more time. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to take my patient's blood pressure. So this involves me placing this cuff around your arm. It's going to get tight and then the pressure will release. You okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Just get you to relax your arm. Okay, so blood pressure is 125 over 85. Okay, so at the beginning of my shift, I'm going to do my ECG operational check. So to do this, I'm first going to turn the monitor on. I'm then going to go to menu, down to other, turn the sound off. Yes, operational check, run operational check, and I'm acknowledging this. Swap off this one last time. Okay, so it's telling me to turn the knob to 150 joules. Just verifying that the test load is attached. Now I'll push the charge button. And shock.
Shock delivered.
Yes, I did hear shock delivered. Okay, so our operational check is passed. It's now printing out. Just double checking that everything on the list does say pass and there's no fails. It looks like it does. Okay, so I'm now going to write my name and sign my name and write the date, so it's the 20th of October. And I'm going to keep this on record with me throughout the shift, just in case I need it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do a test defibrillation. So to do this, you turn the joules down to 30, make sure your test load is attached, push charge, and then shock. And that there says one shock is delivered, so I know it's worked. I'll now show you how to disarm, so push charge and disarm down here, and disarmed. The next thing I'm going to show you how to do is to change between leads. So up here we're on lead 1, and then you can push it again, changes to lead 2, lead 3, etc. The next thing we can do is change the volume. So if you go menu, down to volume, and then you can choose alarms, so soft, medium, loud, etc. You can also change the volume of the waveforms, so there we can hear our wave working. So I'll now change the amplitude, so menu, displayed waves, go into wave 1, I'll choose lead number 3, and then you can change the amplitude to say 4 times, which gives you a closer view at the waveforms. I'll just change it back. And next I'll show the end tidal carbon dioxide detector, so that just goes on the side here. And that's used for a ventilated patient.